If you're over 30 and none of that hard work is budging your belly fat, you're not alone. I've been there. People always ask me, why am I still stuck if I'm following the plan? It's almost always down to a few mistakes that most people never notice. In this video, I'll break down 5 real subscriber fat loss plans so you can finally see and fix the biggest things holding back your results, starting immediately. And if you want to be a part of the next review where I fix your fat loss plan completely for free, it's for my email subscribers, you can get on the email list in the link in the description, any of those free resources that'll get you on there. A lot of this information, I'm not going to go over all of this with you. It's one of these things that's going to be the issue. And so I'm going to go over their biggest problems and then go back to the things that could be causing that problem. So the biggest issue here is food cravings and social events eating out. And the goal is to lose weight and tone up 8 to 10,000 steps per day. I don't see any lifting in here. So that would be a huge thing that would long-term increase your basal metabolic rate and allow you to burn more calories so that you don't have to eat so little. Because if we're eating a little, which is the main problem we're going to get into in a second, whenever we have to eat, less and less and less, you just have to keep on cutting those calories. Without a good amount of muscle mass, you're eventually just going to be eating so little that it's, you're always going to be craving. And so that's going to be the main issue here. Now, you also said TRX in your home, and then you have access to a full gym. So I'm guessing maybe you lift 3 times a week, and then you also do walking, maybe those 3 times a week, or maybe walking 8 to 10,000 steps per day. So if you're lifting 3 times a week, you can kind of ignore that piece of advice, but I'm not exactly sure what you meant by that. I don't know if you meant you walk 3 times a week or whatever. But here's the main issue. So the lifting is definitely important, but if you're saying you lift 3 times a week, and then what is your, cardio and things, and that's just what you're filling in there, then this is where my focus would be. You're eating too little. And it is a complete myth that you eat more to lose more. That's not true. Your body isn't shutting down. It's that you plan on eating 1,650 calories. I totally believe you there. And then the protein target's 185. That sounds about right. And then meals per day, eating window, if any, and do you food log. So you food log, which tells me this 1,650 is probably accurate. But your struggle, and you are not alone in this, is with food cravings and social events. So I'm guessing that, 3-4 days a week are 1,650 calories, but the other days a week are going to be, 3,000 calories. You're kind of making up for lost time, 2,500 calories, whatever it is. And it's slowing down your weight loss. It's either slowing it down and making it so up and down that it's hard to tell if weight loss is happening, and it could still be happening just slowly, or it could just be completely negating your weight loss and you are just, flat. And so one, I want to encourage you, that's not so bad to be flat and to learn and get better. What I would do here, and I have personally done this, I have coached clients through this. What I would do to fix this is increase your calories to 2,000. It's going to feel like you're able to feast. And worst case, it stops your binging and it stops your, eating out and food cravings. And then you find out, 2,000 is my maintenance. I doubt it is, but let's say it is. If 2,000 is your maintenance, then cutting down from there to like 1,800 or 1,750, that might be, a good place to go. You also could use that as a little bit of a diet break and see if, 1,650 was much more maintainable. But for a guy, I wouldn't be eating 1,650 almost ever, especially if you're lifting and you have decent muscle mass. You are a guy, right? Yeah, male. So 69 male. That's what I would do. I would increase your calories to 2,000, and then after like 2 or 3 weeks, you might find 2,000 loses you weight because you're actually sticking with it. But if you're flat after 2 or 3 weeks, I might ride that out a little bit longer, for like 2 months, and then slowly start cutting your calories, and maybe that'll kind of reset your hormones and everything. So I would go on a diet break. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the next person here. Now I haven't actually reviewed these. I'm reviewing this live. If any of this in here resonates with you and you're like, man, Aaron just sounds like he really can help me. I do this, I've done this for 11 years now. And I do feel like I'm pretty good at coaching a person through these difficulties. And that's what this is all about. So if you are interested, at least just check out the program, link in the description, and you can see if it's something that you might, be interested in me helping you with. So this person, 43 years old, male. I don't know centimeters and kilograms. I guess I should have converted that before. But 87 kilograms, it's what, like 191 pounds. Okay. So lack of motivation, time constraints, and emotional eating. So this emotional eating kind of goes in with the same thing with the last one, with the food cravings, social events. I know you didn't check those off, but it could be triggered by the fact that you're eating too little calories. I haven't looked. I promise. 1500. See, like this is exactly, this is probably your problem as well. I would increase your calories for sure. Now let's see how much. So you weigh a little bit less. It tells me 5 foot, feet in inches. That didn't work. So 5.4. So you're like 5.5 feet. So you're on the, shorter side. Probably your calories are going to be your biggest issue. You have a 10-hour eating window, 150 grams of protein. I would bump up your protein a little. So I would increase your calories probably to like 1800 maybe. And then almost all of that be protein to try and get that protein up a little bit. Yeah, because I would be shooting for like at least 175 grams of protein for you, maybe like 190. Lack of motivation. Let's see if any of these. 5 to 7 hours is pretty good. Lifting 3 times a week, squats 3 times a week. So I'm guessing when you lift, you squat almost every time. And then walking 20,000 steps a day. 20,000 steps a day combined with 1,500 calories, you definitely need more calories. That is for sure like an issue. And I bet that goes into the emotional eating part. Yoga mat, you say weight 7 kilograms. So it sounds like you have a pretty limited, so you have a couple dumbbells and then a walking pad and like an ab machine. And then I bet the squats are like body weight squats. So I would encourage the ability to get a little bit more, a balanced program, add in some push-ups, hopefully get some heavier dumbbells and be able to do like rows for the back, and get more of a complete lifting program so that you can increase your calories because you have more muscle mass. Because like working out abs and squats isn't going to end up cutting it. Now, it could be that you do more than that and, it's just a limited form. And that would be it. So increase your calories. You can keep your steps that high if you want to, but I mean, that's really, really high steps. But it sounds like maybe you just do the walking pad during work or something, maybe. So increase your calories and then have a nice balanced program with hopefully heavier weights that are able to push you closer to failure on each set, meaning like you really push hard into the set. Let's go to the next person. 31, female, one of my rare female subscribers. I think I have like 5% of you. No food log, daily intake of about 80 grams of protein. Definitely needs to be higher. 61.8 kilograms to 136 pounds. Yeah, so I would at least be going for 100 grams of protein, and I'd be working up to like 120 grams of protein for you. So no calorie target, just intuitive eating. We'll probably come back to that. Aiming for low carb, high protein meals. On average, lifting 2 times a week, trying to increase this to 3 or 4 times a week. That would be good, but 2 times a week should be good enough. So that's not going to be like a huge hole. Upper lower split. Well, upper lower split, if you work out 2 times a week, it means you're only hitting your body once a week, like your total body once a week. So I would do total body 2 times a week or upper lower 4 times a week. Lack of motivation, time constraint, social events, eating out, and plateaus. So you're plateaued partially because of your protein. I think your protein will need to go up because we need to get your lean muscle mass up. You don't have a lot of weight to lose, regardless of how tall you are. 157 centimeters. 57 centimeters. So 5.1 feet, average female height. So I'd get your protein up, and then I'll look at your workout in just a second. Social events and eating out. Let's see, your calories an issue? Well, you don't food log. Okay, so we can hang out right in these 2 areas. This is going to be, this is going to be where the problem is. So I would start food logging and I would shoot for 100 grams of protein and then build that up slowly to like 120, because that's part of your plateau issue. You don't have a lot of weight to lose. So whenever you start to get to that point where it's like difficult to lose the fat, you've got to have the muscle to support it, or you're just going to have to keep eating less and less and less. And eventually you're going to fizzle out. Intuitive eating. I've never seen that work. I'm just being like real and upfront. I've never seen that work, not once. The people that preach intuitive eating, typically that I see, especially on like Instagram and stuff, they're like fitness chicks. It's almost never a guy, but maybe they're out there, but it's like fitness chicks. And of course, they can intuitively eat. I could probably do it too because I'm so active. Like I easily walk 14 to 17,000 steps a day, easily. I work out 6 times a week intensely in the weight room, and then I do 40 minutes of cardio every single day because I enjoy it. Heart health and stuff like that, So I could intuitively eat probably because I'm burning so many calories. It's going to be hard to overeat that. But whenever your calorie intake probably needs to be somewhere around 1,500 1400, you can't really intuitively eat. There's just not enough room for mess ups. So that could be the issue. I would start food logging and seeing how many calories you're taking in. Let's say you're taking in somewhere around 1,700 calories. That would be very easy, an easy adjustment. I would adjust that down to 1,500 and see where that takes you. And then you say you're aiming for low carb, high protein. So, I have a free recipe book, if that helps, that has really high protein meals. Like based off the protein you're taking in, I'm guessing the protein, like one of my servings in my cookbook is going to give you 40 grams of protein. Like you're going to get half of your daily protein that you're getting right now in one serving of my high protein recipes. So, it might be too high protein for you is what I'm saying. But, get aiming for higher protein. Oh, and I wanted to go over your 2 times a week. Okay, so I would do 2 total body sessions. You say you're trying to increase this, so I would start with 2 total body sessions. Instead of compound movements, you could do compound movement, like do a squat for your quads and glutes. Do a dumbbell bench press for your chest, and pull-ups or something for your back, or assisted pull-ups. So you can do the compound movements. There's nothing wrong with that. I would just make sure you're hitting chest, back, quads, hamstrings, and then the glutes are kind of in there with the squats. And then a couple sets on the shoulders. That's all you'd really have to do. And I would do that 2 times a week. So 15 minutes incline walking, definitely increase that if you can. I would increase that to, after every lifting session, been walking to work this week, 50 minutes of walking each day. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, keep this the same because that's enough. I told you I haven't read these. So that is enough walking there. Don't track steps. You're getting enough. You're getting plenty of steps. With that, hour and 40 minutes of walking plus 15 minutes of incline walking, that's good. So I wouldn't adjust your steps or your cardio. I would adjust your lifting to total body, hit all the major muscle groups twice a week. That would be the adjustment I would do there. Combined with your protein, make sure your sets are hard enough. Every set going close to failure, muscular failure. Get more protein. That will really help the calorie burn long term. Stop intuitive eating. That'll help your calorie consumption right now. So your instant results is the food logging. Your long-term results is the lifting and protein. Next. Okay. 47, male, fat loss. Let's see your main problems. Night eating. Okay, so that goes right in there with, a lot of these are the same, really. That goes right in there. I wonder if your calories are too low, but that goes right in there with emotional eating, food cravings. And then you say time constraints. We'll look into that with the lifting and programming and stuff. I don't know what Japan walking is. Maybe that's a typo. 1 hour Japan walking in the early morning. Dumbbell exercises max 3 days per week. I don't know what CA is. 40-minute sessions, still not able to make it a habit. So, well, I would make sure that would be your, so keep the walking 5 days a week. That's great. I would, really emphasize dumbbell exercises. So maybe you're working out at home. What do you have access to? Treadmill, adjustable dumbbells, bands, and bench. So I would have a dumbbell only workout because they're adjustable dumbbells. So I'm guessing you can make this heavy enough, to be within like a 10 to 15 rep range. Make sure it's total body. And if you make that a habit, that will really, really help. Now your daily calorie goal is 1,800. That's not crazy low. 47 male, 128 kilograms. 128 kilograms, 282 pounds. That's pretty low for that. I mean, I would, because you have a lot of weight you're carrying around, so you're burning a lot of calories. So I would increase that to 2,000, see what that gives you. Protein target's 250. That's great. And start logging. So that's going to be huge because you said you're not logging here. So start logging, and I bet you're eating way more than 1,800 calories. Maybe not way more, but I bet you're eating more than that. So let's just say you're eating 2,400 calories a day, cutting that down to 2,000 with tracking, because you won't have increased your calories then, you will actually have decreased them from what you thought you were eating to, what you actually were eating down to 2,000. Protein's really good. How much did you weigh again? 282? Yeah, so protein's really good. Start logging. That's going to be a game changer for you. Log, make lifting important. hit it 3 times a week, total body with those dumbbells. Start logging your food and eat 2,000 calories. You're going to get results. Keep doing everything you're doing. That's the fix. Bam. Next. Okay. This is the last one. 38 female, one of the rare ones. That's interesting because there's not many females that watch me, and 2 people filled out of 5 filled out this female. 280 pounds. Fat loss and being able to run a 5K without walking. That's great. That's a great goal. I love the performance goals. That's good because you can really whenever this fat loss isn't happening, you can focus on this side of things, and then this will start happening. It's really cool. Everyone, really, I should encourage my clients. That should be part of their homework. I don't do this, but that's a great idea. Your homework is to find a performance related goal. Go run a race, go cycling, go swimming, learn to, throw a baseball for 30 minutes with your kids, whatever, something physical that you can aim for as a benchmark. Full gym, easy peasy. Okay, let's get on to the problems real quick. Oh man, detailed. Goodness. Current exercise snapshot. Wow. Okay. We'll see if I'll be able to go much into detail on that. So lack of motivation, food cravings, emotional eating, social eating. So the classic stuff. Joint pain. Now that is a unique one that we haven't ran into yet. So I'll try to keep that in mind. I feel like I know what to do, but never can stick to it. I wonder where your calories are at. That's almost always the issue there. Just scoliosis sometimes causes back pain. Be careful with that. I'm not an expert in scoliosis, so if something hurts, avoid it. Try to find something that doesn't hurt, that day or long term or both, Step goal of 8 to 10,000. Farmers carries is great. Okay, let's go up here to your 1,800 to 2,000. So you're not too low, assuming you're food logging. Okay, so you're not consistently food logging. I love your goals though. Your goals are great. I might increase your protein a little bit to 150, but your goals are great. Your goal of 120 grams of protein and your goal of 1,800 to 2,000 calories. I would probably aim for 1,800 just because it's not going to hurt you. You're not going to starve. And then you could always adjust that up. It's not going to be so drastically low that's going to be an issue. Okay, so this is going to be a game changer. If you food log consistently and you hit 2,000 to 1,800 calories consistently, you're going to get success just there. This is so detailed. I don't think you're struggling to hit this. This sounds look, you have your rest periods and then Wednesday. So you're working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, total body. I wouldn't do a core day only. Go ahead and keep cardio in there if you want. Definitely still do cardio. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, split still, make them total body, reduce your sets. If you did 2 sets of everything, but you kept it really intense, that'd be plenty. Yeah, that's what I would do. That's how I'd fix that. That way you're hitting your total body twice a week. This isn't going to be a major game changer. You're getting enough steps. Run a beginner plan Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Yeah, never mind. So you're doing cardio there. So combine these 2 days, reduce the sets. So this is a fantastic split, a fantastic exercise selection. You could totally remove your warm-up here to save you some time. Those are good movements though. But anyways, total body twice a week, reduce the set so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Your thing here is food logging. You food log and you got it. Food log and consistently hit 1,800 calories. Do what you're doing down here and you got it. Now be careful on the joint pain. That might be why you do that warm-up. So never mind. Keep the warm-up. Food cravings, emotional eating. I wonder if food logging would actually help you have less cravings because you're allowed to have something. This is an analogy I use a lot where if a person goes to the mall to buy a jacket and I tell them, hey, here's this card. You don't know how much money's on it, but go get yourself a jacket. That'd be kind of anxiety causing, right? I don't know if it's going to decline at the register. I love this $100 jacket, but it just give me $20. I don't know. Whereas if I told you, hey, on this card is $50, even though you now have less money than in the first example, it's much less anxiety causing. Oh, I know I can buy this jacket for $50. I don't have to feel any guilt about it because I know there's $50 on this card. I wonder if that would help with the emotional eating, just knowing, hey, I can have this cupcake or cookie or whatever. and the food cravings and stuff. But that's going to be your thing. Fix the workouts in the way that I said before. I won't repeat it just for entertainment purposes. And I love your goals. I think you're primed. I think you can do this. You food log, you got this.